What's going on, everybody? This is USS Gear Locker coming to you with another video. And this video is going to be a follow-up to my last video. My last video was a unboxing of the Dynamis Razorback, and in that video, I kind of sparked me to do this video. But basically, I wanted to kind of give you a and I know it says Dynamis versus Winkler. So if you guys ask me, well, what do you mean by Dynamis versus Winkler? They're all Winklers. Well, I'm glad you asked that question. So in the last video, I thought to myself, I'm like, let me just do a video of the comparison between the Winklers. That way, if somebody was in the market of buying a Winkler and they wanted maybe a knife or maybe a dagger, they can kind of get a sense of size ratio, the size ratio compared to the Dynamis. That way, you can see the difference between like getting something that's concealable, something that's for fighting, as opposed to something that's more so something that is not concealable but for fighting. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So again, I'm just going to kind of reiterate from yesterday. If you guys not familiar with Dynamis, this is a collab between Winkler Knives and Dom Rosso. Dom Rosso, again, he is a former Navy SEAL, and he collaborated with I think Daniel Winkler for this knife, for this particular knife. So he's again, Don Rosso. He's a Navy guy. I'm actually also a Navy guy. I was actually stationed at Little Creek myself. So much respect to the LCAT guys and to the ELD guys. So if you know, you know. All right, guys. So again, this is a specialty type fighting knife, and this is a pretty much going to be a more mobile knife that you can actually have a little more concealable. Now let's get on to the other Winklers that we have here. So the reason why I got these two is because you have a little bit of both. You have a little bit of both in this knife. You have a knife, got your gimping there, got your gimping there, and you got your and you could actually use this as a knife. As you can see here, it is a spear tip, but you still have this can be used as a knife. So it's no different than you can use this Winkler Woodsman as a knife. Also too, I really like the scalloped sculpted type handles here. So that's also kind of similar to all three of these. So that kind of makes it a little more of a comparison, because you do have the the sculpted handles here. Didn't plan that, because when I bought these, I wasn't considering getting this, but I guess it helps for the video. So anyway, guys, let's just go to a size comparison. So this is going to be pretty much now this is not the boot. This is not the belt knife from Winkler. This is actually the Woodsman. And so I think, with the Woodsman, you also have the pommel on the back too. So here you have it. Here goes the size. So as you can see, size wise, the Dynamis is actually, I mean, it's a small boy. I mean, you can actually put the Dynamis on top of the actual Woodsman, and you still have you still can see the underlay of the Woodsman. I mean, that's how much this knife, the small frame of this knife is in conjunction with the Woodsman. And the Woodsman is not really a big knife. It's not really that big of a knife, but this just has a small form factor that it's so concealable. So if you're looking for something 'Cause, some guys, well, I can just use this as a knife. Well, I mean, you can use this as a knife, but the thing of it is, the disadvantage of you having this as a knife is that the is that it's so small. I mean, you can't really get a good. I mean, you can get a good perch on it, but if you're trying to do actually any type of work as far as any type of feather sticking or any type of bushcrafting type duties, this is going to be pretty much hard. You can do it, but it's not going to work. That's going to work on this knife. This knife right here is going to be a lot beefier in the hand, and you're going to get a full grip on that. So, and again, you know, um, I guess with the gimping here, I'm not sure about the gimping here, but I guess the gimping, if you're actually fighting, this way, I guess that, but to me, if I'm fighting that way, and the thing of it is, when you got all kind of elements coming at you, I wouldn't want to risk that fighting that way. I would always want to do a reverse grip. That way you got a little bit better grip on that. And also if you do a reverse grip, you got that pommel stopping you right there. So it's kind of like it's pretty much locked. I mean, you're locked in right there. But if you're going to fight that way, I guess they call it Filipino style. You could do it like that, but you'd really have to be careful because if your hand goes up a little bit over that edge, it's going to hit those serrations. So, but as far as using that as a knife, that's not a good idea. And I know that might be just common sense to a lot of people, but some people just don't know. And and this is just more so an informational video. If someone was considering, someone's like new in the game, and they're like, well, I can just buy this as a knife and this has this as a self-defense tool and a knife. Well, that's not going to work really as a knife. Okay, so let's go ahead and move that one to the side. Now let's go to another. Let's go to another Winkler. This is the Winkler. I think it's called the NSD dagger. I think, but we just call it the Winkler dagger. Now both of these pretty much have the same. I mean, these are pretty much just for self-defense. This dagger and the Dynamis is for self-defense. The difference is, and you can clearly see here, its size and concealability. This you can conceal all day, and you probably wouldn't even know it's in your it's in your waistband. This right here, you're gonna know it's there. Plus the sheath. So now I do carry this. I carry this on my. I have an Agilite. As you can see right there. I have an Agilite. Plate carrier, and this works perfect for the Agilite plate carrier. So that is something that and I just use that. I just train with that plate carrier. And this is perfect for if you got a plate carrier, you just stick that in front of your plate carrier and you're good. Now, so these actually have great uses depending on what you're doing. Now this, if I don't have a plate carrier and it's just me and it's just pretty much, me and I'm doing some training or whatever like that, or where I train in a very, very, very rural, backwoods, backwoods, in the field type, training scenarios. So I'm like out, like really like in the thick of it. So, and if I'm not wearing my plate carrier, and if, this would be perfect because, 9 out of 10 times, I'm not going to be in a fighting scenario. But if that ever comes about, this is perfect because this is a minimalist knife. I'm not going to have a whole bunch of bulky gear if I'm worrying about training and, getting in my reps and things of that nature. This is going to be the best knife for the job because it's small, it's lightweight, I can grab it, and I'm ready to go. I don't need anything. If I'm like, getting reps in, I don't need to have a heavy, bulky knife on me. The whole point of working out is to try to where the light is closed and get the most reps in. So this knife is going to fit that bill. This knife right here, and all of these knives are purpose built. These are purpose built knives. This knife right here is going to be great when I'm wearing my plate carrier. Because the plate carrier, of course, you can house all kind of stuff on your plate carrier, depending on what type of, mollies and attachments that you have. So this right here is going to be the best knife for the job. So I'm not, again, I'm not sponsored by Winkler. I'm not, saying that, this knife is the best, even though, even though there's so many multi uses for this knife. But then again, there's so many multi uses for all of these knives. So guys, I just, wanted to give you just another video of these knives, and let you know that you can't go wrong. Depending on what you're doing, you can't go wrong with any one of these knives. The thing of it is that it's about what you're doing, what you want to do. Um, if you're outdoorsman, if you're outdoorsman and you're doing outdoorsman stuff, bushcrafting stuff, this is not the knife for you. This is not the knife for you. This is the knife for you. If you are pretty much on some type of defense detail, doing some type of defense training, or you're in law enforcement, or on some type of deployment mission, this is a good dagger for you. This is the knife for the job. So again, all these knives are purpose-built knives, but I just wanted you guys just to see the difference of certain Winklers. If you are going to start getting into to carrying Winklers, and I say carrying Winklers because I mean I gotta say, Mr. Winkler, he makes exceptional masterpiece of knives. Um, and That's why I say if you're getting into Winklers, because it's not just, oh, I'm just getting into knives. And no, when you get into Winklers and you pay that Winkler price, you getting into Winklers. It's not just, you're gonna get a Kershaw knife and you're gonna get some Tops knives, something like that. Once you get into these, you really it's an investment, but it's definitely a well worthwhile investment. And I was listening to Don, talking. It was like if you keep these knives up, if you keep them well oiled, these knives could outlast your grandkids. That's why I say it's an investment. So guys, just wanted to give you a heads up on the different Winklers that I have here, and you know, and all of these knives are purpose built. But that way, guys, you can kind of see whatever mission you're doing, Winkler has the knife for you. All right, guys. Until the next one, guys. You guys have a blessed one. Thank you.